Hi everyone, welcome to today's live stream. Welcome, we are the OdongoZ, and I'm glad that you've joined us from wherever it is that you're from. Kindly, you can tell us in the chat where you're watching us from. I am in Nairobi, Kenya, East Africa to be precise, and we are the OdongoZ. This is a channel that shares our family vlogs on homesteading and also on traveling. We share our simple day-to-day life. We share our faith journey. We share home cooking, just us living our lives intentionally and in the best way that we can. Just to be able to inspire, to be able to motivate, and to be able to encourage somebody out there to be able to live without minding of all the noises that are around the world. So tonight we are talking about something that touches every single one of us that is living simply in a complicated world. The world right now has a lot of confusion, a lot of noises, a lot of things that are going on that if you are not careful, you might lose yourself, especially for us who are millennials. You might lose yourself because of the things that are going on around the world. So whether you're watching us from Nairobi, you're watching us from New York, you're watching us from Lagos, Nigeria, you're watching us from South Africa, maybe you're watching us from right here in Kenya, please feel welcomed. I know life at times can feel overwhelming, especially with the bills that are supposed to be paid, with parenting, with the troubles that we have in traveling, especially after the COVID-19, the restrictions that were made on traveling and the requirements, especially for those who do not have a stronger passport. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can overwhelm us in life right now. And sometimes it's feel like we are running a treadmill that never stops. It's this after this after this. And if you're following on what is going on right now in the world, you realize that there's a lot of noise, a lot of things that the big nations are doing right now that you might feel like it's so confusing to know what really is going on. There's a lot of chest thumping, a lot of things that are going on that discourage us, especially if you're a parent or if you're somebody who is mindful of what is going on right now in the world. So this is just a Q&A session, so feel free to drop your question in the chat. If you're watching this or you're watching the replay of this, just write something in the comment section. We'll still be able to reply. So in this channel, we go by the name the OdongoZ. Initially, we were Trails of the OdongoZ, but we changed our names to the OdongoZ to just make it simple for somebody out there to be able to understand what we are about. So this is a channel based in Nairobi, Kenya, East Africa to be precise. And in this channel, we basically do our vlogs on homesteading. We do our vlogs on family life, simple family life. We do our vlogs on just simple things that matters, the simple things that do matters. So the channel is run by myself together with my wife, Regina, and our 3 children who tonight are not with me, but they'll be able to join us in other subsequent live streams that we'll be having. So we do vlogs. We have so many videos that are currently out there. You can check our channel out. And if you have not yet subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. Help us be able to reach 1,000 subscribers. We are currently at 200 plus, and we hope to be able to get to 1,000 subscribers in the near future so that we can be able to reach as many people as possible. So I won't take much of your time. I'll be able to go straight into the topic and just to be able to discuss some of the things that I wanted to share with you. So one of it is some of the things that are really bogging us down, especially we adults, and that is minimalism, which is currently trending, homesteading. We have parenting, where parents are worried about how to raise their children. And when you talk about the children, we talk about the new generation that is currently we are raising, especially the millennials. Millennials, we have a different generation that we are raising. We are raising them in a different way than we were raised. And basically, there are those who feel like going the soft way. There are those who feel like doing it the same way our parents did it for us. And when we talk about our parents, those who can relate, especially me, I know our parents were a little bit tough on us. So we were not that raised in a gentle way, the same way the generation that we have right now. And also families of faith are asking, how do we hold on to God in all the noise that is currently going on? So I'm just going to touch on those topics, that is minimalism and homesteading and also parenting, and also just trying to encourage others to be able to know how to live. So we basically made a number of videos on some of these topics, especially on parenting. We've done a live stream on parenting, on the new form of parenting that we think might work right now. We've also done a number of videos on faith, yes, how we teach our children about faith, some of the things that we do in our house, in our family, the routines that we've managed to be able to create for our children, especially on how to put them to be grounded right now with all the noise, with all the technologies that we have right now. So if maybe I touch on that, I'll say like, how do you hold on to your faith? Maybe you are not a Christian, but you're a Muslim, you're a Hindu. So how do you hold on to faith with all the noise that is going on, just to be able to raise your family in an environment that is so conducive? So for us, what has worked for us is we decided to declutter our house, especially on technology. Technology is good, yes. It makes our life easier. It makes us to be connected. But you realize that our children love a lot of technologies. And if they are not that they're not put in an environment where you're able to control what they're doing, especially with the gadgets, then you might find yourself losing control of your children on how, whatever it is that you want to educate them on, or how you want to raise them. So what we did was to declutter our family time. That is, we were able to remove some of these gadgets in our family. So our routine is like our children only have access to the gadgets during weekends, and it's not like we restrict basically what they do yes, we have these parental control things that you are able to use to be able to monitor what they are doing. But by decluttering, we mean that we decided to switch off the TV, we decided to remove the gadgets, and we led by example, especially me and my wife. So what we did is we created a time where it's about no technology, that is, no gadget. So we have to sit as a family to talk, to just learn how the week was for each one of us, to be able to speak to each other, to be able to relate and see what is happening, what is really happening with us, what is happening to my son, what is happening to my daughter, what is happening to my spouse, you know. So we are able to talk, we are able to create games. And if you watch some of the videos that we've created, especially the ones on games, you realize that we do play some of the most simple and at times they look stupid or foolish. Somebody can take it as that, but they are a meaningful way to be able to spend family time. And the most amazing thing that inspires me is that most of those games, it's our son who has been able to create them. He takes just normal vanilla papers and is able to create something out of it, and just try to encourage us or try to teach us on how we are going to play the games. And imagine, from a piece of a cardboard, we are able to spend 1 hour, we're able to spend 30 minutes together as a family, and we realize the time is moving so fast, and we enjoy our company, we enjoy just being together, we enjoy laughing, we enjoy even learning about each other, the competitiveness of each other, the competitiveness of each other. And you get to know who your child is, you get to learn who is your spouse, rather than coming home from work and all you do is sit on your gadget and just you're not able to even know what is happening to your child or to your spouse or to your partner. So that is one way that we've managed to be able to raise our children, just remove them from the screen, remove them from some of these things that are confusing us in the world right now. And it's not like you need to remove totally. You can remove gradually. You can maybe award them or reward them. Maybe say if they do a certain particular call, then then you are able to give them some 30 minutes or 20 minutes of the gadgets. And it has really worked for us. It has managed to be able to remove all of us, including myself. I don't spend now most time on my gadget. Before, I never used to go to sleep without having my phone, just browsing on social media. And you realize that you spend a lot of time on your gadget. You even forget that you are there with your spouse, or your spouse is just next to you. So just decluttering these gadgets has been one of the key things that we've managed to be able to keep our family rooted together, to be able to spend some quality time. So faith indeed is key, whether you are a Muslim or a Hindu or a Christian. And the practice that we've managed to develop in our family to be able to help us to live simply in this complicated life is to be able to have a routine. So we created a routine, and in this routine, basically we lead, as the parents, we lead by the example. So it's all about praying basically in the morning before they go to school. We pray for them, we pray together. And then during our meals, we also pray when we are having our meals. And then again, evening time, before we go to bed, we read the scriptures and then we pray together as a family. And then there are times when we do our fasting, and our children are able to see the things we are doing as parents. And I've learned that even my daughter, she created this routine where now she cannot go to bed without praying. And this is something that she has seen us doing as the parents. So it has helped us to be able to just keep our faith together as a family. So I noticed that if maybe as a dad or as a father, I'm the one doing it without showing my children, then somehow it doesn't work. So I have to lead by example. When I tell them to go to church, I have to be the number one person who goes to church or go to the mosque or go to the temple. There's no way that you'll be staying at home and you tell your child to go to the temple, to the mosque, or to the church, when you, as the adult, you are not doing that. So they copy a lot of the things that we do. So that is one way that families of faith are able to hold on to God or to the higher power that they believe in this complicated life. So it's also good to show them, especially when you pray. And by praying here, I mean not only Christians, but all faith or all religions. Like when you pray, try to also show them the part where you need to wait on God, or wait on your on whatever it is that you believe in to be able to answer your prayers. So show them, just show your children all the processes. Show them when you are down, show them when you are up, show them when you are praying. You don't only pray during problems, you also pray when good things are happening to you. You give gratitude back, and it has really helped us to be able to keep faith and God in our family. So living simply in this complicated world is not that easy. There's a lot of things, especially the social circles that we live in as adults. It's not that easy to live a simple life. By simple, I don't mean poor. By simple, I just mean living through what you truly need, not excessively, not what you don't need, like having so many things that you don't even need. So for us, we chose to be able to declutter, especially most of the things that we do not need. We are more intentional on what we buy. We are more intentional on what we purchase. We are more intentional on basically what we really want as a family. So we don't just copy things. We don't just follow other people. We follow our own traditions, what we have created that makes us happy. So even you yourself, you can choose what makes you happy and decide on that and say, this is basically what we are going to do as a family to be able to help us to live simply. Yes, homesteading is also growing everywhere. Even here in Africa, homesteading is growing. And by homesteading, I mean countryside life or village life. And maybe I can say that what I've learned as a millennial is that perhaps what we were taught in school, like the city life and everything, the glamour of the city life, is not really true from my own opinion. Because when you look at it deeply, you realize that the life that we are living here in the city is basically like, especially when you do 9 to 5, it is just a life where somebody pays you for you to keep your dreams on hold. So you realize that you don't have time to travel, you don't have time for you. Yeah, I once worked for a particular individual who, even just going for a holiday, going just be able for a vacation, maybe to the coastal region, it was always a problem. Like they never felt happy that me as the employee is having this good time. For them, all they want is for for you to give and give and give without you having something for yourself. And you realize that if you, maybe you came to the city to be able to get your university education, then you came maybe at around 18 or 19 for those who live in Africa, in Kenya. And then maybe at 19, you moved to the city, you studied for, let's say, 3 years or 4 years. Then you tarmacked. By tarmacking here, I mean looking for jobs. So for us, looking for job, we call it tarmacking. So you spend some maybe 4 or 5 years looking for employment. So by then you are roughly 25. By 25, then you get employed. Then before you move into employment, maybe the first job, the second job, the third job, by the time you settle, you're around 32, 32, 33. Then now you work through your stable life or whatever, maybe 10 years, 10 or 15 years. And then you realize almost half of your life is gone. Doing what? Working. Working for what? Working to pay the bills, working to be able to keep up with the Jonases, working to be able to just show those that you left in the village that you are living in the city. But when you really look deep down, you realize that even that job is not like you are so happy doing whatever you're doing, but because you are afraid of what will happen if you don't report to that particular job. You're afraid that your door might be locked, that you'll fall on rent, you will not be able to purchase food and all these things. But when you look at it deeply, you realize that homesteading somehow solves most of these things because especially where I come from, there are huge tracts of land that young men young women have left back in the village. These land are lying idle, they are not cultivated. And when you look at what especially the Europeans are doing, most of them live in these countryside areas. They do a lot of homesteading, where they are free, there's free air, there's free space, there's free everything. And when you look at how they live, they don't have a lot of the pressures that we who are living in the city, even here in Africa, have. They don't have the pressures of the bills. They don't have the pressures of the social pressures where you need to look a particular way, to drive a particular way. You need to take your children to a particular school for you to fit in. So somehow just homesteading can be a solution to most of these things. And right now it is really growing. And it is one thing that we also, as the OdongoZ, we are looking into to be able to move back to the village, just be able to homestead and to be able to inspire somebody out there that it can be done, that you can go and create whatever life that you want to create there. You can be able to be even more productive. You can be able to to do whatever you want to do beyond even your dreams. That going back does not mean that you failed, but going back means that you want to regain back your freedom. You want to regain back your sense of belonging on who you are. So it is one thing that also is a good topic that is currently trending so much in the world. Then another one is minimalism. Minimalism is people just living on basically what they need. That is what they truly need. And what does minimalism look like for your family? Maybe it's a question that I can share with you. What does minimalism look like for your family? When you talk about minimalism, minimalism is just, for instance, in Africa, we do have a problem, something that I've observed, especially from my older aunties or uncles, or even people generally, neighbors, whatever, even me myself, where you find that if you go to an African person's house, especially here in the city, you enter the living room and you'll find it full to the brim. Basically, we put a lot of furnitures, a lot of things, even things you don't need. You find that we have this tendency of having a lot of things, even things that we don't need. And there's a time I remember I had a discussion with my spouse where I was talking to her about our closet, the wardrobe that we have, our clothing. And I was like, why do we need all these things? Why do we need all these clothes? Why do you need all these shoes? You have like 30 pair of shoes, but you only wear two. What for? So these are some of the things that minimalism tries to solve. Like, uh, does it really matter to have all these things? I remember when I grew up, my parent used to have these special utensils that she would keep in a special drawer, you know, and these utensils were meant for visitors only for visitors. I remember I started seeing them when I could know myself. That is, so I remember when I was still very very young, around maybe 4 years or something there, and these utensils, my mom used to keep them in a special wardrobe, and they were there. And if you dare to touch those particular utensils, you'll be in a big trouble. So these utensils were meant only for visitors, yeah. And there were so many. So it was all about pleasing the visitors, and we never used them. I don't remember a single day when I could even touch these particular utensils. They only touched when maybe she was washing or something like that. So the sad thing was that there's a time now when I was now an adult, that thieves broke into our house, into my parents' house, and basically stole these utensils. Yeah. So these utensils that she was keeping all these years, for over 15, 20 years, never using them. Yeah. Somebody came and stole them. And now you start wondering, was it really necessary to keep all these things? Why couldn't we have just 4 cups, even quality cups, that we could use for our own, ourselves, not for the visitors? And it is something that African mothers can relate to. Maybe if you've been in that situation, you can comment in the chats, you can tell us. Because we've grew up in families where we have these particular utensils that are meant only for special visitors only. So if you are watching us, thank you so much for coming to this live stream. Karibu sana. Karibu is a Swahili word which means welcome, welcome. Kindly tell us in the chat where you're watching us from. We are glad just to hear from you and know where you're watching us from. Yes. So we are talking about living simply in a complicated world. The world we are living in right now is so complicated. Yes. So I'm watching you from Nairobi, Kenya, East Africa. Diana Tieno, hi. Yeah, hi. Yes. I'm from Nairobi, East Africa. Nairobi, East Africa. Moving Wheels is saying, hello, my brother. Greetings from Machakos. Keep up the good work. Your advice is a blessing. I'm a YouTuber too. Oh, thank you so much, Moving Wheels. I'll check you out. Prior Sonny said hi. Thank you. Yeah. Then you have Don't Be a Silly Banana says hi. Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all those who have managed to join us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you on our live stream. It's always a blessing and a pleasure to see you. So we are talking about living simply in this complicated world. Living simply in this complicated world. Yes, living simply in this complicated world. And what I was talking about was minimalism. So for us, it doesn't mean that owning nothing. I'm not saying that you need to own nothing. I'm saying that it's always good to look at what you own, especially if it is clothing, household things. That is all minimalism is all about. And because of the things that are going on in the world right now, you've seen a lot of these world superpowers threatening each other, yeah, trying to intimidate each other, and you don't know what the future holds. So at times, just for you to live a simple life, not because of what is going on, but for your own peace and for your own sake. Because there's a saying that there's something I came across on social media yesterday. Somebody was talking about like that was trying to ask a question. Why are we really on this world? Sorry, why are we really here? And when you pause and ask yourself that question, you'll realize that you really don't have the answer. Why are you here? Why are you here on Earth? Why are you here on this planet? Are you here to intimidate others? Are you here to inspire? Are you here to do what? Why are you here? And basically, the person was trying to say that we came here with nothing, absolutely nothing. And we spend our entire life, yeah, searching for everything. We spend all our lives searching for everything. But then we go back with nothing. So when you look deep into that particular saying or whatever that person was saying, then life kind of start having meaning to you, because you realize that why spend my whole life looking for things that basically I will go without. When I go, I won't even have them. Why should I spend my whole life worrying about things that at the end of the day, I won't go back wherever I came from with them? Yeah. Basically, when we go with nothing. So why should we kill each other for all these things? Why should we be jealous of each other because of all these things? Why should we take somebody's land, kill somebody because of some money, of jealousy, of all these things? Because at the end of it all, we came with nothing, and we are going back with absolutely nothing. So it kind of make minimalism start making sense to me. And by minimalism, I'm not saying that you don't need to own nothing. Yes, you just need to own what you really need. And what do you really need? That is the question. Somebody needs a Ferrari and somebody needs a bicycle. So it depends. I cannot say that all of us need to have only a bicycle. No. For somebody, a Ferrari is all that particular person needs. So the levels might differ, but the point I'm trying to bring home is this. Like, you'll find some people, let's say your level is on that Ferrari or Lamborghini. So somebody wants to have like 20 or 50 Lamborghinis. For what? What is the main purpose for having them? Yes. So basically, minimalism is kind of trending. And for us as a family, it just means owning what matters, what really matters for us. And before, I used to have a big challenge with this. And I think maybe it comes with age or something. And I used to struggle so much because it was all about trying to outcompete my peers, trying to stand out among people, trying to be the best, trying to be this and that. So that's why you'll try to have the best car, so that when you're on traffic or you're cruising on the highway, maybe you have a Toyota, a simple Toyota, and then you see this Subaru passing you by, and you tell yourself, next time I'm going to buy a Subaru so that people don't pass over me like that. You feel bad that this car doesn't have speed, man. I want something that you cannot just pass me like that. So you feel intimidated by somebody overtaking you, and you put yourself in a lot of debt just trying to get a better car. Yet whatever it is that you have is able to take you from point A to point B. So you realize that some of these things that we are going through, especially currently in the world, they are things that we put on ourselves. They are things that we do on ourselves. And by minimalism is not just about less for the sake of less. It's also about more space for joy, more space for peace, and more space for just God, just seeking God, yeah. And maybe I won't go into the verses, so I'll also talk about another way that you can simplify your life is through traveling also. The question is, how do you travel with your kids? And travel as an adventure is always an adventure. Even for me, our channel is also about homesteading and traveling, and we intend to start showcasing our travel soon once we sort out a few issues. And it's good to travel. I don't know how many people have traveled. Maybe you can tell us in the comment section, where have you been to? For me, I've been to a few, not many, just a few countries around us. And there's something that when you travel, it just opens up your mind. The way you think, your outlook on, just the way you look at life basically changes, because there are things you see in different countries that are not your country. meeting people from other countries, somehow it changes how you view people. And it's something that it's always good to travel and is an adventure. But our philosophy is always that slow travel. By slow travel, what do we mean? Yeah, slow traveling is where you don't rush to see everything, like moving from one point to the other very fast. No, go slowly, move from one point to another, one point to another. Just experience the places. If you are to move from, for example, if I say from here to Dar es Salaam, then you can maybe at least witness what is going on in Arusha, in these small towns, because most of us overlook some of these things. And I'm really inspired by one YouTuber. She's called Ichi Boots. If maybe you've ever seen her, I think she's the person who has really traveled this world. For those who have traveled through air, you can claim to have traveled, but for me, Ichi Boots is just the goat of traveling, because she has gone to each, let's say she's traveling through our country, Kenya. And when she's going through using her motorbike, she's able to experience basically places that almost I can say 99% of us will never experience. And I don't say that all of us need to do the same. But I'm saying that even some of these destinations that are pushed for us, they give us a wrong or a different perspective of what places are. And I believe, like for me, one of the places that I truly wish to travel to is Israel, just to be able to go and live through the Bible story. Just seeing it, I think physically will be able to change my mind on different things. I've seen somebody do it, and it's something that I wish to do it together with my family one of these fine days. So just traveling through Egypt, just whatever it is that I've read through the scriptures, just be able to relive it on a physical form. It's something that I look up to, and I believe if I do it, I'll be more intentional to do it in a slow way, so that I don't rush it. Yeah, and some of the things that you can do, maybe if I can check out, is like camping together. Yes, I'll be honest, I've never camped, but I wish to do it also. Camping together, yes. Cooking our own meals, like when you travel, it's not about buying, you go buy. You can also go to the local market of some of these new places you are into, buy their local food. Maybe if you don't know how to cook them, you can check on YouTube, you can check on maybe some cooking guides. Just you can even invite a local, invite a local, let the local cook for you. And this one, I'm so inspired by Mazeli. Mazeli I just salute you. Mazeli is a YouTuber from US. I saw one of her videos where she went to Uganda. And when she went to Uganda, this woman is amazing. She's so amazing, together with the husband. They were so simple. They were so humble. They just relieve that slowness of traveling. Just being able to experience life like a local. I remember even in one of the places they stayed in Kampala, they invited a local who was able to cook for them the local food. And they spent most of the time with those particular locals. And I believe maybe they were able to give them something. So being able to cook meals on your own, not just eating from the hotels. I don't say that we need to always cook when we travel, but you can do it once won't hurt you, because even when you are back home, you still cook for yourself, right? So you can decide one day, let me go to the local market, I buy something locally, or invite a local if you have money, pay a chef from the local area to be able to just cook for you something. Yes. So this makes traveling not becomes all about destination, but about the moments and the memories that you are creating, the places that you're visiting, the people, the locals that you're talking to. And I believe once we start showcasing our travel episodes, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about in real sense. Yes. So it's about shaping our children's character also. Because, let's assume that you travel by flight, yeah? From here, let's say, let's talk regional, because when you travel to Dubai, you can't probably do it by road. Yes, it is possible, but you can't, yeah? Because of the security issues around those places. But now, assuming you are traveling to South Africa by road instead of flying, And you don't, since you're traveling with kids, you don't want to travel straight away. So maybe you do bits. Maybe you travel from Nairobi through Namanga to Arusha. Then from Arusha, you go to Dodoma. From Dodoma, you head to, is it Mbeya? From Mbeya, you go to Tanduma. Tanduma to somebody, maybe Mpika. From Mpika to Lusaka, maybe from Lusaka to Livingstone, Livingstone to Rundu, from Rundu to um, Windhoek, maybe go all through way to Springbok, from Springbok to Cape Town, you know. So all those destinations, maybe you're camping in between. You're able to, when you camp in these campsites, and those that are safe for children, you'll be able to meet people, you'll be able to talk to people, you'll be able to share something with people, you'll be able to exchange networks, you know, connect with people, and your children will look at life in a different way. Compare that with, yes, I know there are pros and cons, getting tired and all that, and it's not that easy. But maybe you do it once, yes? So compare that with you traveling by flight direct from Nairobi to Cape Town. Yes, all of you will arrive at the destination. And I know someone will say that I'm going for a holiday, so I don't need to be tiring myself. I agree. But for those, I'm talking to people who want to live simply, those who want to slow down, not those who are in a rush. Yes. So basically, the live stream is about those who want to slow down a bit, yeah, and to be able to experience life. Because why are we rushing? Where are we heading to? Basically, why are we rushing? So if you go through that journey from here to Cape Town in bits, the bits that I'm talking about, you segment each and every part and experience. Let's say from here, for me, if I go to Cape Town, then I get to Arusha, then I camp there. I look for a place that I can camp that is affordable to me. And when you camp there, you're able to go through the local markets. You're able to see and experience different things. You're able to meet different people. You're able to know what these people are doing. You're able to look at maybe some artifacts, and you're able to take some amazing pictures, you know, and you'll be able to learn a lot. Your children will be able to learn a lot rather than going direct from point A to point B, just like that. So travel and adventure, just to be able to simplify it in a way that will be able to make it easier for you. So what about the rising cost? Rising costs currently globally, technology, and also pressures to keep up. So I believe that the rising cost of living is everywhere currently in the world because of what is happening. All the talks of war, we have seen even the Americans just changing a whole department and calling it the Department of War. It is their prerogative to do that, so there's nothing we can say about that. But what does it mean to us, us who are trying to live, who are not into war and all those things, you know? So it basically means that you're going to be affected by everything, especially the cost of living is going to be very high, because when we have a lot of uncertainties, then there's a tendency of these suppliers and all these business people just increasing everything, and inflation and all sort of manner of things that are going on right now. And it is real, and it doesn't matter where you're living right now. I saw yesterday videos of people who are living in America going through difficulties, especially in California, with the housing problems. People who are working class. Imagine somebody earning almost $3,000 and they don't have a place to sleep. They're sleeping on the streets. So yeah, in Africa, $3,000, I think you are like a member of parliament somehow. Yes, I know they earn more, but you are like them. You are like an MCA, a local leader. Yes, but still, cost of living is very high. It's extremely high. You know, you go to the supermarket, let's say with $10 in my country, you are not able to purchase much. You are not able to buy a lot of things. So these are global challenges that are going on right now. And it doesn't matter the size of your bank account. It doesn't really matter, because you realize, let's say you're a businessman and you're doing very well currently. When we have these global challenges, it even affects your business because it affects your employees. Each and every time your employees come with all sorts of problems, you know, not this, not that, not that. Maybe they are not able to report to work because of these challenges. So your bank account might be doing very well, and you say this video live stream is not for me, but it does affect you. It does affect the productivity of your business because your employees are not able to perform because they are going through a lot of stress, And also technology. We have a lot of technology that has come, social media that is confusing us, taking all the time that we have. We have TikTok, even from the name itself, it is just tick and talk, TikTok, that is like a wall clock. Time is going very fast, and before you know it, a day has gone. You've not done anything. Yes, and also the pressures to keep up. Pressures to keep up with your friends, You look the other side, when you turn back, you realize your friend is gone. Your peers are gone. They are doing so well in life, and you're still out there. So the truth is that you need to have a higher sense of purpose for you to overcome all these things. And by higher sense of purpose, I do not mean that you need to be religious as such, but religion does help. But a sense of purpose is you have to look at, why are you here? Why are you here on earth? Are you here to compete with your friends? Are you here to live for your friends? Are you here to spend all your income to please your friends? Because what I learned late in life is that even the people that we are really trying to show that we have arrived, by arriving I mean that you are now financially stable, most of them don't care. Nobody cares, especially right now in the world. Things are happening, a lot of things are happening, and you might think that people care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares whether you are putting on a torn cloth. Nobody cares whether you are putting on the most expensive clothing. I have somebody, I won't mention the name, but this person I think grew up in poverty or something, and he later became a boss. And now there's this day that he's currently doing very well. And where I learned that he had a problem was that personally I know that he's doing very well. I know that he's earning millions and so and so. But this particular day he came to the office and he had a new watch. And for me, I have my own issues. I'm going through my own problems, I don't care whether you're putting on a watch or not. I really don't care. I don't even notice, And so he came and passed over my desk, and he noticed that I was not checking him out. So he finally gained the courage and came to me and asked me, do you know how much this watch is? So I just looked at him, looked at the watch, and just to be able to please his ego, because I knew where I was trying to drive to, I told him probably $1,000. And he said, nah, this can't be $1,000. And back here I was just guessing. I was just guessing the cost of the watch. So he started telling me, can you check it out? You Google it. This watch is like a sister to Rolex. This watch is like more than $5,000 and plus. And I was like, okay, what the hell? I really don't care, And so something made me to be able to check the price of this thing truly. And when I looked at the price globally, the watch goes for around $1,500. So I was almost there. But you see, now the guy was trying to overinflate the cost of this particular thing. Why? The pressure to keep up. And is somebody who is a senior citizen, who you think that by the mere fact that he's a senior citizen, he has gone through life and he has realized that some of these things don't really matter. Assuming you are now 65, how much time are you having left? Assuming you reach 100 years. So for us, there are people who learn this very early. There are people who learn this very late. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're putting on a torn cloth or whether you're putting on a designer cloth. Nobody really cares. Nobody cares. So stop living to please others. Stop giving yourself a lot of pressures just to keep up. Yes. So basically, we need to live differently. Just living differently will help you to live a simple life, to live simply in this complicated world. Because when you look at even the gadgets that you're watching currently, even in social media, there's a lot of adverts. Basically, you buy a cloth today, tomorrow another one is out of, the particular cloth is out of fashion, there's another one that has come in. You just buy a shoes before even whoever it is that you're trying to please is able to look at it. You see somebody now damaging the shoes that you thought are the ones latest in fashion, you know. So these things are bombarding us from everywhere. Things are coming in at a very high rate. I saw already we have iPhone, I don't know iPhone what, the latest iPhone basically. And you know, just last year there was another one that was latest. This year there's another one. So before you even save that money to buy the latest one, another one is out. And now it is just pushing, 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 pushing. And basically you don't have time to be able to live and live your life. So something also maybe I talk about is how do we really raise our children in this modern world without losing our values? How do we raise our children in this modern world without losing our values? Yesterday I was in a discussion in my children's school parents meeting, and we really learned a lot. There are things that were being discussed there that some were amazing me. And we learned that children are really, the children that we have right now are kindly different from us, our generation, basically. Me, I come from millennial, I'm a millennial generation. My kids are alpha generation, and the alpha and the Gen Zs are a different breed of children, you know. So I learned that currently, especially in our country in Kenya, the government does not even allow teachers to punish. By punishing here, I don't mean beating. So for those who are in different countries, maybe the Western countries, I know you might be shocked at what I'm saying. But for us, when we grew up, in the schools that we went to, we were not just being punished, we were being flogged thoroughly. Thorough. And I'm not advocating for kids to be beaten, basically, because we were from a different generations. And for us Africans, I believe, I don't know, Africans in live stream, you can correct me on this. There's just something different about us Africans. When we can't just be trained without some sort of control, you know. I don't know why. I don't know really. I don't understand why. So imagine you have a school where kids know very well that teachers can do nothing to them. Yeah, in Africa. I'm not talking about Europe. So for those watching us from US and Europe, you can excuse me on this. In Africa, you have a school, and in this school, children know very well that they cannot be punished. They cannot be told no to anything. Basically, whatever it is they want, that passes. And so the parents were discussing how some of the children were looking at other teachers and saying, oh, these teachers are harsh. Some were saying that there are teachers who just judge them. And you know, we are talking about adolescent kids, and maybe for you, you were an adolescent at your age. Me also, I was an adolescent at my age. And adolescents are those people who can really manipulate you. They can manipulate you to think the way they want you to think. So it was something that really opened my eye on the kind of world that we are living in currently, with a lot of advocacy on child rights and all these things. It has become really difficult to be able to raise our children, to be able to just control even how we talk to our children. Like there's a way you have to talk to them. You have to talk to them nicely. You are not supposed to shout at them. You are not supposed to raise your hands on them, you know. But I don't know. It's something that maybe needs to be relooked at, because that kind of parenting somewhere is not working. Because look at the kind of children that are coming out. Yeah? Just look at it in that perspective, and you'll be able to see that somehow there's a way we are losing it. And I don't know what will happen to our generation alpha, our children, especially when they become now responsible adults. I really don't know how they'll be responsible adults. But now, how to raise kids in modern world without losing your values? Because now we have these technologies that our children are into. They look at how other children are being raised. They look at how other countries are advocating for children to be this and to be that. And you come home and now you have to explain to a child why you are punishing them. It's not like when you were raised up, it was about I'm punishing you and you are not to question anything. But right now, you have to explain to a child why before you do anything. Because if you raise your hand, and I'm not advocating for that, you raise your hand on a child, it becomes child abuse, you know. So first you have to explain why, and explain why you are punishing that particular child. So that is some of the things that is really making it. But I think what we can do is communicate. And by communication, that's why I'm talking about why. Why are you doing this? Why are you punishing me? Why are you telling me not to do this? Why are you discouraging me from seeing so and so? So those are the things that I think can be of great help. So for us, we limit also screen time. Just as I said in the beginning, we have limited a lot of screen time on technology, on TV, on our smartphones. Not only the children, but also us, the parents. We have tried as much as possible to reduce the amount of time that we are on screen. And also, we encourage our children to do house chores, that is washing their clothes, especially the clothes they are going to school with, the uniforms. We also encourage them to make their beds. We encourage them to be able to take care of their hygiene. Yeah, we encourage them to be able to take responsibility of removing plates from the table once we have taken our dinner. We also do send them to be able to maybe buy things from the kiosk. So these are some of the little cause that we encourage them to do. And then we also encourage them to share meals, share their things, so that they know how to live with other children out here also, not living for themselves only. One thing that maybe I can share also that we have tried to do is to be able to try as much as possible to be friends to our children and to open up, not to be that harsh, to be friendly to them so that they can open up and tell you some of the things that they're going through, especially in school. And as for marriage, I can say that some of the things that you can do to live simply is communicating on everything. You have to communicate. You have to communicate. You have to communicate on everything. Yes. Yeah. And at times, by living simply, it doesn't mean you need to have money to be romantic, you know. Even doing things like washing dishes together, cooking together, and you can check some of the videos that we've made so far. You'll see us even cooking together, just playing some simple games together. And these things, they cost absolutely nothing. So you don't have an excuse like, oh, I do not have money. Like I had some generation out here, they're talking of they don't want to enter into marriage because they do not have money, blah, 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 blah. My friend, money comes and goes. You'll never have money forever. Even if you marry when you are stable, eventually there's a time that will come that that financial stability will be shaken. You can find yourself doing some project or some government deals, and from nowhere you're in trouble and they froze your account. What will happen to your marriage if the foundation of financial stability? So compromise, forgiveness, you know, those are the things that truly matters. Just being able to compromise each other, to be able to forgive each other, you know, communication, yeah, and even the character of the person you're marrying. If you marry after you're stable, the person you're marrying basically is into your money, not. I'm saying that's just by the way my own opinion, so don't sacrifice me for that. So communication and prayer are everything, and sometimes even just having washing dishes together. Those are romantic moments, and maybe generation differs, but for me, spending time together intentionally, those are romantic moments for me. Yes, yes, yes. Faith. Let me also talk about faith. Faith, by faith, I mean the world has become so busy that people don't have time to go to their mosque, to go to their temples, to go to their churches again. And there are so many distractions. We've seen a lot of churches opening up on social media. We have churches on YouTube. We have churches that are on TikTok. And I believe that you cannot concentrate on a live stream of a church, because assuming that you have your phone and your data is on and maybe you're following up a church service over Zoom, then a message pops up from maybe your girlfriend or wherever it is. You see, already your mind will be off. You won't be able to concentrate on what is going. So there's a lot of distraction. And honestly, uh, it starts small for our family. We start just by having a morning prayer. After morning prayer, then during evening time, we read the scriptures, and we encourage our children to be able to read the scriptures. We encourage them to memorize the scriptures. We encourage them to be able to pray especially during meals. We have them praying during meals. Yes, yes, yes. So those who are joining us once more, I wish to welcome you to this live stream. Please, if you have not subscribed, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Help us to reach 1,000 subscribers. Yes, and for those who've been following us, we have not been doing videos of late, but we are working on resuming from next week. We were on hold a bit. We were on a little bit of something that is so precious to us, and we were working on it, and eventually it came out successfully. So we are grateful to God and to everybody who put us in prayers, and we are planning to be able to we are planning to be able to we are planning yeah we are planning to be able to resume. Yes, so we are doing my live stream. Basically, we are in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm just reading some of the comments to see what our viewers are saying. Yeah. Yes. All games video. Yes, thank you so much, all those who have managed to be able to join us. I want to say thank you so much, asante sana, for tuning in, just coming in to share with us this particular moment. I say thank you so much for tuning in. It has been an amazing time just sharing my discussion with you. I hope you've learned something. And you can also tell us in the comment section maybe where you're watching us from. Any other topic that you'd wish to hear from me, I'll be glad to be able to talk about it. Yes. So any question, any person who has a question can just let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. Any question on our videos, any question on our channel, maybe you just want to say hi, wherever it is you're watching us from. And all those who have managed to join us, I want to say asante sana for joining us for today. Any question? Any question? Any question? If you have any question, feel free to just ask me on the comment section. I'll be able to answer you. It has been an amazing time having this conversation. Kindly, if you've not subscribed to our channel, feel free to subscribe. Let me give you a minute or so to subscribe. Subscribe to our channel, please. Help us to get to 1,000. And if you've watched this video as a replay, not worry. Also, you can write your comment, what you think. Tell us what you think about us, the video, the channel, and everything, and we'll be able to respond to you as soon as possible. Asanteni sana. That is, thank you so much in Swahili. Thank you so much for coming through. It was amazing having you on this live stream. Our channel name is the OdongoZ, and we are from Nairobi, Kenya, in East Africa. If you have not subscribed to our channel, kindly feel free to subscribe. Help us to get to 1,000 subscribers. Also watch some of our videos. If you like them, you can share with your friends. And also tell us in the comment section which type of videos you'd like to see from us. So very soon we are starting our traveling version, playlist and everything. We'll be sharing more of our travel and homesteading as we plan to start homesteading. So kindly, if you're joining us for the first time, feel free to subscribe also to support the channel. Write in the comment section where you're watching us from. I am from Nairobi, Kenya, in East Africa. Today's live stream, we were talking about living simply in this complicated world. Yes, if you have not watched it, kindly you can watch the entire live stream and you'll be able to learn a thing or two. So kindly help us to get to 1,000. Subscribe also to our channel, share it with your friends, share it with all those people that you'd wish to be able to see it. Otherwise, for now, I want to say asante sana. Asante sana is a Swahili word for thank you so much. For those who are able to join us, asanteni sana for joining. It was great having you on this live stream. I hope you've been able to learn something. You've been inspired. You've been encouraged or motivated. I want to say thank you for all those who are able to comment. We have Diana Tieno, All Games Video. We have Moving Wheels 26, Priya Soni. Yes, thank you so much. Asanteni sana for coming through. I hope to see you once again on Saturday, same time on our live stream. I hope I'll be able to come together with my partner, my wife, and also our children to do the live stream just the way we used to do them before. And in the meantime, we'll be able to upload some of the videos throughout the week, just as our schedule indicates. So thank you so much for joining us, wherever it is you're watching us from. Asanteni sana, be blessed wherever it is that you're watching us from, and just have a lovely time. Thank you and bye-bye.